Off a 2-1 night, we are back with three more NBA game breakdowns here on Droppin' Dimes, brought to you by Better and Green. Guys, quick recap from yesterday. Gave out the Pistons. They did not get there. Down 3-1 in the series. We'll see how that shakes out. Had the slightest of slight leans on the Phoenix Suns plus the points. They barely squeak by and cover that. And then Denver minus the 11.5. They cover by the hook. So yeah, 2-1 night. Kind of two sweaty ones there. Ended up passing. I just got a funny feeling about Denver late, and obviously right now I'm kicking myself for it. Could have had a winner on the Nuggets last night, but ended up passing overall. Just still kind of trying to work my way back from this weekend where I wasn't able to spend as much time focused on the sports as I wanted to. So, yeah, felt like we were seeing the board well, but yeah, like I said, ended up passing. So, guys, before I get into the three games today, I do want to quick make mention, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. We're going to film our Kentucky Derby video for Saturday's race tonight, so that should be out tomorrow. So if you're interested in betting the Kentucky Derby, check us out. Also, daily NHL, NBA, and MLB, weekly golf and UFC as well. Also auto racing, specifically NASCAR, out on our channel too. So running really hot right now. I think we're 13-0 last 8 days, 7-0 specifically in the NBA, up like I think 11 units in the NBA over the stretch of the last 8 days. So really rolling, guys. Great time to hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell for instant alerts so you won't miss any of our videos as they go live. Hit that like button for us. And if you have some time, just drop me a comment in the comment section. Anything welcome. We really appreciate it. Let's get into game number one here, 7 o'clock Eastern. This is game 5 between the 76ers and Celtics up in Boston. Celtics trying to close this one out as they lead 3-1, likely going to, as they sit as an 11.5 point favorite. Over under 213.5 here. And guys, Joel Embiid came back in game 4. Had an impact, but not enough to get the win. Celtics end up winning that game by 32 points. I think, I didn't want to play on the Sixers in that first game with Embiid back, but I think the second game with him back in the lineup here, 11.5 points is a lot. I think we got, obviously, the Sixers' best effort, backs against the wall. I don't think they're going to win. This is similar to kind of how I felt about the Suns last night, where it's hard for me to play a dog when I don't see them winning outright, but I think the 11.5 is too many. Boston feels pretty good, I'm sure. They have won two of their 3 wins are by more than 30 points. I don't think they really fear, that they're going to lose this series. And I just don't know that we get max intensity from Boston. I could see them kind of letting up a little bit if they do have a big lead, letting Philly come through the back door here, cover this 11.5 point spread. So, yeah, I do like Philadelphia plus the points, but I do think Boston ultimately wins this game, advances to the second round. So it is tough for me to put my money down on the Sixers when I do think the Celtics are going to win. But I do like Philadelphia plus the 11.5 points here in game number 1. Next game up, we have game 5 between the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks. The Knicks, a 6.5 point home favorite, over under 214.5. I don't understand this line. I want to take the points here with Atlanta plus the 6.5. Yeah, like I said, the series is tied 2-2. They've split in both cities. So went 1-1 in New York, 1-1 in Atlanta. Atlanta off the loss on Saturday in Atlanta. Now they get away from home, go back up to New York. We know they can win there. They've done it before, did it back in game 2. They did that in, game 2. And I think 6.5 points, I think it's just too many here. I could see Atlanta ultimately going on and winning this series, and this is obviously a pivotal game 5. Sorry about that. But I think public's going to be heavy on the Knicks. I think the Knicks will probably be the most publicly bet side of the night. It's always good when you line up on the opposite side of the most publicly bet NBA side of the playoffs, or of the night of the playoffs, just because, public, especially in the NBA, guys, they don't win. So, yeah, I like the Hawks here, plus the 6.5 points. Want to see a little bit more how this line moves, how the money comes in, but I expect the Knicks to be incredibly public. I think this is, a pick'em series, and the Hawks plus 6.5. I think it's way too many. I think they can win this one outright. Give me Atlanta plus the 6.5 points. And again, we hit Atlanta last week. Let's sprinkle that money line as well, right around plus 210, which is right where they were last week when they won as an outright dog in Madison Square Garden. Give me the Hawks plus the 6.5 points. And our final game up here, guys, we have the Portland Trailblazers and San Antonio Spurs playing in San Antonio. Game 5 here. San Antonio trying to close this one out. Trailblazers are fighting for their lives after losing games 3 and 4. Now down 3-1 here. This game's tough. Another 11.5 point spread. Over under 216.5. I'm going to slightly lean with the Spurs in this game. I think the Spurs close it out, and I think the Spurs, Wemby suffered the concussion last week, and I think this team just is ready to have a little bit of rest before they move on to their next series. I think, the 11.5, I'm not overly excited to lay that number with a team that's up 3-1, but at home here, don't probably want to travel back to Portland, put more miles on their bodies. Probably just get the win here, stay home, rest up, and get ready for round 2. So I could see a little bit more urgency from the Spurs than I could from, say, Boston, in that similar situation with the same spread. So, this game is not one that I'm overly excited to bet. Had Portland in game 2 when they got the win. Actually had the Spurs in game 1, Portland in game 2, and then came back with the Spurs on Friday in game 3. Passed on Sunday in this series here, but seeing this one pretty well. I do think the Spurs close it out tonight. Minus 11.5 is my lean, but probably my least favorite play on the card for tonight. So, guys, that will wrap it for Tuesday's episode of Droppin' Dimes. We'll be back all week breaking down the NBA playoffs. Quick recap, like the 76ers plus the 11.5 points. The Atlanta Hawks plus the 6.5 points, and slight lean on the San Antonio Spurs minus the 11.5. Again, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. If you do like this content, please hit that like button. It goes a long way for us. And if you have just a minute, a quick comment in the comment section. We really do appreciate it. But that will wrap it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for more NBA breakdowns here on Droppin' Dimes, brought to you by Better and Green.